Republicans have held firm control of the U.S. House since the 2022 midterm election, but the tide may soon be turning this November. Down-ballot elections in two prominent blue states, New York and California, could see seats on both parties flip. One of those heated races is in New York's 18th district, where Republicans are looking to turn that region red for the first time since 1983. CBS News congressional correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us now for more on what is at stake. Scott, great to see you in D.C. Let's start off, though, with the New York race. Tell us about the candidates there and some of the issues that you're focusing on this November, or that they're focusing on this November.
It's a focal point, and let me unpack some of the many pieces of news that began the night here in Washington. The National Republican Congressional Committee, the campaign arm of House Republicans, had a meeting tonight with its chairman to talk about the home stretch to this election, the balance of power in the U.S. House, and what could be a shifting political tide because of the change at the top of the ticket. And both parties, campaign arms, Republicans and Democrats, according to our latest CBS News reporting, have now set up field offices, people on the ground in California and New York. Forget those other maps. For control of the U.S. House, those are the battleground states with about a half dozen competitive races in each one. One of the epicenter races is New York's 18th district, where it's an incumbent named Pat Ryan, a Democrat who won a special election 2 years ago this week, running against a former New York police officer named Allison Esposito. She's the Republican. Many of the same issues we've heard about nationwide, talking about the border and inflation. But in that district, and with the history of this campaign, they're also talking about women's reproductive rights. Take a listen to both candidates on that issue, speaking with CBS News.
It is on people's minds, and the vast majority of the American people want reproductive freedom, and they know that Trump and the MAGA crew are trying to take it away.
I'm very supportive of IVF, just to put that on the record, and I don't support a national abortion ban. I have never called for a national abortion ban, although my opponent will lie and say I did. It's a states' rights issue.
Jerika, that's going to be a big issue in most every district. But in that district in particular, it has a history. That district was won in a special election by the man on the left, Pat Ryan, the Democrat, days after the Supreme Court's Dobbs decision overturning Roe v. Wade in August 2022. Jerika, they pivoted that campaign, or at least accentuated the issue of abortion. Pat Ryan seeking to win re-election on that issue again.
Yeah, very important, I think, because as you said, these are races that could change the power structure within the House. In California, you sort of hinted on this, but talk about some of the notable races that you're following there.
So many races and so many people in California, but the way the maps are drawn, the way the elections are conducted, they just have a lot of close ones. Democrats told me today they're looking especially at 5 Republican incumbents as potentially vulnerable and pumping millions of dollars and outraising those incumbents, trying to oust them. Some of them have been around a while, some of them are relatively new. But 5 California Republicans are in the sights of Democrats this cycle. If they could swing those 5, that might be enough to win a majority. Republicans have to defend those seats. And Jerika, it's not inside baseball. It's pretty much common knowledge politically. It's hard to win these California and New York races because, oh, by the way, they're very expensive races, very expensive commercials and states.
So how did blue states like California and New York become huge battlegrounds states for congressional seats?
It's a little peculiar, isn't it? Because it's not those same states we keep hearing about. It's not Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania. New York had a court ruling a few years ago that had a judge redraw the lines and did it in a peculiar way that just made for some very competitive seats that wouldn't have otherwise been competitive. They've slightly altered those lines again, but you've got Republicans in areas. Joe Biden won in 2020. California has Republicans in areas. Joe Biden won in 2020. That's what Democrats circle on their maps, and that's where they focus their money. They are outraising Republicans, and Jerika, they started doing so even before President Biden stood down from the race.
Wow. So I know that you have some new reporting. I want to switch gears on this. It's always amazing how you're able to keep things in focus with the Justice Department's January 6th prosecutions, but there is information that you learned today.
Yeah, and it's important to be mindful of this. This remains the largest prosecution in U.S. history, and it keeps on churning even during the campaign. A couple milestones are nearly reached, Jerika. 1,500 total defendants. 900 have pleaded guilty. 1,500 people. It's like the graduating class of a not so small college.
Right.
900 people, the graduating class of a huge high school. I mean, these are lots of people. All these cases, Jerika, funneling through one courthouse, the one here in Washington, D.C. And let me add this footnote. There are trials still scheduled for the week of the election and the week of Inauguration Day. It takes years.
Yeah, absolutely. And so many people involved. So to be expected. Scott MacFarlane in Washington, we thank you for your time.
Thank you.